Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or nah foundation review on the very new, just came out today in stores, Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. It looks just like this. As we all know, they came out with their original foundation being a Pro Filter matte foundation, and now they came back with a hydrating one. I literally ran to my local Sephora as soon as it opened today. Today's Thursday, and they just launched today, and they were putting it all out, and I was like, I need this. I also picked up the brush, which I wasn't thinking about picking this up, but I was just like, I need this. I want to try it out. I really liked how it felt and everything, and I just feel like I have and use the same brushes when it comes to my face, like the kabuki brushes, that I wanted to try this different brush. I also got another soft matte. I got it in the mini version because I'm going to be traveling soon. So I want to take this with me, but I did have the full size when I purchased the Pro Filter Matte Foundation. I think it was like 2 years ago or so, and I loved it. I used it all up, so that's why I picked up this little one. I also got samples of the Fenty Soft Silk Primer, which is a more hydrating primer, and then the True Matte Primer, which is supposed to be more matte than this soft matte one. So I'm gonna be putting all that to the test today. I think today I'm gonna be trying both of the matte primers since I do have oily skin with the hydrating foundation. So I'm gonna be using the soft matte on one side and then the true matte on the other side and let you guys know how that does. So I'm gonna put this one over here. And before we get started, I want to go ahead and moisturize my face. I'm going to be using two products today. I'm going to be using my First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream, and I am going to also be using another product that you guys have seen me use in the past few videos. I just needed to moisturize though. I'm really excited about this foundation. I know that probably comes to a shock for some of you guys because you guys know I have oily skin, but I've been really into hydrating foundations. I feel like it's so essential, and sometimes when you have oily skin, the reason why you're producing so much oil is because you're not hydrating enough. You don't have enough hydration in your skin. So I was really pleased that Fenty Beauty now launched their hydrating foundation. I knew that it would only be with time that they would launch one that was more suitable for people that suffer with dry skin. So I'm glad that that launch came around. So now I'm going to be taking this Pro Cure product. This is my Rosa Care, and this is kind of like a moisturizer, but I more so use it to target my cheeks, and I've been really enjoying it. I purchased this a few weeks ago, and it really conceals my redness, as you guys can see, and it's made with very nice rosacea friendly products, so it just does a good job of kind of concealing it. It has this green tint to it, so it just looks very good. I have my hair down today. It's growing, we're thriving. We're gonna let that sink in to our skin. While that happens, I'm gonna go ahead and open the brush. If I can get this to open, my hands are sticky. So the Sephora sale is coming up, guys. Coming up very soon, starts on Monday, I think the 19th, and I'm excited. I will be doing a video on my recommendations for the Sephora sale, and there's a lot of things that I actually want to pick up this time around. And as you can see, this brush is very different than the typical brush that I like to use. I like to use a kabuki like this. It just has this nice fluff. This one is just kind of like angled. I think you more so like apply it like this. So I'm really excited. So today, no JH03 brush. Today we're gonna be going in a new direction. Okay, so I'm gonna be taking the primer, and I'm also gonna be bringing you guys in closer so we can dissect this face. So on this side, we're gonna go ahead and use the original matte primer, which is the soft matte primer. This is the one that came out 2 years ago with the matte foundation. I got the travel size version because, like I mentioned, I'm gonna be traveling a lot, and here you get half the size of a full size, so 0.5 ounces. This is just a soft matte finish. So I'm gonna be using this on this side. This one is one that I do enjoy, so I really do recommend this one. If you're looking for a nice soft matte finish, nothing too intense of a matte. This mainly will be more so for my people that have that like combination skin that are looking for something that's going to keep your makeup in place. And it's a very nice, smooth consistency. It's creamy, it's not thick, it's not drying, it just feels right. So this is the formula that I'm typically used to. Very long wearing. It makes your makeup stay all day long. It just makes it look good. So I definitely do recommend this one if you're looking for that aspect of it. What else? Yeah, it's smooth, it's pore diffusing, extended long wear foundation, which is true. It has good like soft matte properties while still keeping your skin hydrated. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the other side where it's a true matte form, and apparently this is really good. I've heard really positive things about it. It looks like this. This consistency is a little bit, it looks like kind of milky. It's a white consistency. It's more gel-like. It's much lighter weight and consistency than the one we put on this side. This side is a little bit more creamy. This one's more like gel-like, which makes sense because I feel like typically primers that are really like super mattifying tend to have that more gel-like consistency than a primer that's just smoothing or like a soft matte. It's kind of separating down here. Let me just wipe that away. So it's really cool to see that now Fenty came out with a primer for pretty much everybody. They have the soft matte, they have a hydrating one, which is the silky one, and then they have one that is a true matte for my very oily skin people, which is definitely a good look. So now that I kind of let this sit for a second, I do have to say this side definitely looks more matte and in place than this side. This side definitely does have a little bit of radiance shine through. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can just tell just from being really up close in the mirror. The only thing that I do feel like with this one, it's not really concealing my enlarged pores. I feel like it's just kind of giving me this matte finish. With the side where we're wearing the soft focus one, it is kind of concealing them, but not as much as like my e.l.f. Putty Primer or like my Baby Skin by Maybelline. It definitely still has the pores show through, but I definitely feel like I do have a velvety soft matte finish. It's not sticky, which I kind of like. This side is not sticky at all. This side feels softer, the soft matte one. But now we're gonna move on to the foundation. Okay, so this is the foundation. Like I mentioned, I did pick this up in the same shade that I am in the original Pro Matte one, and that is shade 300. That's my perfect match. This is the type of packaging it comes in, different than the original. So I like the fact that it comes like this. It makes it super great for traveling, super great for on the go, after you come out of the gym and you have to go on a date or something. It just makes it good for that. So I love that aspect of it, and I just love, they have great packaging. They know what they're doing. Okay. So this is what it looks like. What else do we need to know about this? This is supposed to be a Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. This does last for 12 months and it has 1.08 ounces. The foundation did a retail for, I think it was like $36 or $38. I would have it down below in the description box, but it wasn't that pricey. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pump this out. So this is much more liquidy than the consistency of the original Pro Matte one, which makes sense because this is more hydrating. That other one is a matte one, so it kind of stays in place more because of ingredients and everything. This one's main ingredient is water. So it's a little bit runny, like on the back of your hand, but once you put it on, it's very creamy in consistency. So I'm gonna be taking first my e.l.f. sponge to apply it. Now, Fenty Beauty does have a sponge. It's $16. I was eyeing it, but honestly, like I mentioned, guys, when you find a good sponge that's like really cheap, you're just like, I don't really want to mess with anything else. I like what I'm doing with what I have. So I didn't purchase it, but I did cave in and end up purchasing the brush. Okay, so that's applying it right away. As you can see, this foundation has a very nice glow, like a healthy from within glow, and this is a medium coverage foundation, but I feel like it did a phenomenal job of covering up my redness. You guys can see the difference between having some redness to not having the redness peek through. It blends very easily, and it doesn't dry too fast. You have to work fast with the product. There's still a little bit of redness right there, but we can go ahead and cover that up. Immediately, I'm noticing that the difference between this one and the other one is that I feel like this one for everyday use, it's phenomenal. I feel like the other one by Fenty Beauty is a little bit more fuller coverage, so I definitely would wear that more so like for an evening out where I want to look like I'm really done up and have like a full face of makeup. I feel like with this one, you can do less layers and have it be a more like everyday makeup look, or just like running errands makeup. But I like the fact that you're able to really kind of go with the flow with this one. I like how it looks fresh. I honestly thought it was gonna look very like luminous and stuff because, you know, it is more hydrating, but it doesn't look that way. Like it still looks very wearable for people that may have combination skin or oily skin. It looks breathable. I also love the color of this foundation. I feel like it's one of my closest matches to my skin, so I always am really thankful for that. And it works well with the sponge. The sponge isn't absorbing too much of the product. But I do feel like with this foundation, it may look a little bit more fuller coverage with the brush. I would say it's true to medium coverage because there is like some redness that peeked through for a little bit before I went and built it up. But I don't think it's like the minimum medium coverage. I think it's more of a like fuller medium coverage. And we just went in with one pump and we were able to cover this entire side of the face. So now I'm gonna go in with another pump and we're gonna go ahead and use that to cover the side where we are using our brush and also the side where we used the what was it called? The True Matte one, which is the new primer that they just launched. So I'm going to be using the brush. This is the Fenty Beauty Foundation 110 brush. And the way that they applied it was just really like, almost kind of like brushing it a little bit downwards, but also like patting it in. Okay, so do you guys see that? Like immediately it gives you good coverage. Like you guys can see that it covered my redness pretty well. So if you want a more like true to medium or like a more sheared out foundation look for just like running errands and stuff, you can get that with just that much. I feel like this brush is really good for like everyday makeup use when you want coverage, but you want a more natural coverage, because I feel like with this brush, you can still kind of see like some of the redness and stuff, but it looks pretty, you know what I mean? But it just looks very natural. I'm really paying a lot of close attention to everything going on, including the primers. I do feel like this side, I get a little bit more of a matte finish, as opposed to this side, I'm seeing a little bit of radiance right in this area. A little bit more than on this side. Now, do I think it's like completely matte, like no oils peeking through? No, I think it still looks healthy. And I think one of the reasons why it still looks healthy is because the foundation is a hydrating foundation. So even though we went in with that True Matte primer, the foundation's still keeping its properties of looking nice and just like very like soft with the glow. Nothing too intense, but I really like how it looks. Immediately, I feel like I am seeing that this side is more luminous. What else? I also feel like on this side, I'm creasing a little bit. As opposed to this side, I feel like I'm a little bit more in place. I don't know if it has to do with the primer, but I think that that's just something to note right there. Coverage is really good, very pretty, very everyday wear, everyday use. I like how it looks on both sides. I feel like with this brush, the 110 brush by Fenty Beauty, if you're looking for a more natural coverage, this is the brush to use for that. This side with the sponge, it looks very nice, like I mentioned, but I feel like the foundation as a whole performs well with either a sponge or a brush. So it doesn't really matter what you use. I know with some foundations, I'm very specific and I'm like, you have to use this. But I think with this one, it truly doesn't matter. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my first initial thoughts on how this is looking. And then we can go ahead and get our day started. I really love this. It just looks so healthy and like skin. Like, it really does. It looks like your skin, like your exact skin. Okay guys, so I am back. I finished my entire face of makeup, and this is what we have right here. I'm obsessed with this look. I kept it pretty simple in the eyes. I literally didn't do any eyeshadow, just wing, lashes, a lipstick. I will have all the details listed down below in my description box, but I am wearing the Fenty Beauty lipstick. This one is in Uncensored, the best red ever. You guys need this if you don't have this, especially for like the upcoming, like, I know it's too early, but like holiday season stuff, we always want to wear a bright, beautiful red. This is the one. So let's talk about the foundation, the primer, all that stuff. So the foundation looks like this right now. It does look very pretty. I did go ahead and set it with some setting powder just right here in the smile lines. And of course I baked my under eyes because I always crease. For concealer, I did use my Fenty Beauty concealer in the shade 260. I always like to go lower than the actual shade of my foundation because I like brightening. It worked really well with the foundation. I wasn't expecting it not to, just because it's Fenty Beauty, so I'm sure that, you know, they test all their products with each other so that they're able to all work in unison, and it worked really well. I found myself having a more pigmented situation on the side where we went in with the True Matte Primer. I felt like it just looked brighter and more pigmented. This side, it kind of looked a little bit more sheer. I think it had to do with the primer because we're literally wearing the exact same foundation on both sides. I do have to say that with this foundation, it's definitely more so of a natural everyday foundation. If you want it to look a little bit more full coverage, I do feel like setting it with some translucent powder will definitely help. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Fenty Beauty powders. That's just my opinion. I feel like they were a little too dry on me. But with my Airspun powder, it performed great. I'm sure that with the Fenty Beauty powders, if you guys do have them already at home, it'll work great to set your face. But I do love the finish. It doesn't feel like I have heavy duty foundation on. It just feels very lightweight. And I also think my skin looks like skin. It doesn't look cakey whatsoever. Because it is a buildable foundation, it allows you to have that very natural finish. And I am seeing that with this foundation. So far, I'm really excited. I feel like it's gonna look so good. I'm gonna be wearing this for the entire day. I will be doing an in natural lighting check-in. It's a little bit cloudy today, so it's not gonna be super like intense and bright, but I'll do my best. And then I'll see you guys at the very end of the day and give you guys my final thoughts on the foundation, on the primer situation, and also on the brush. So that being said, I'll be seeing you guys soon. Make sure that you stay tuned to find out if this new Fenty Hydrating Pro Filter Foundation is worth the buy or not. Okay guys, so I am back. Right now it is midnight, 12:13 a.m. I fell asleep with my makeup on. I went to dinner with one of my best friends, and I just literally got home at like 9:45 and passed out. I was like, but I woke up and I'm here and I'm doing my last check-in. So I wanted to show you guys what the makeup looks like now. As you can see, it looks like this. It looks really nice, to be completely honest with you guys, except on this side, some of it came off. I think it was while I was sleeping. I don't know, it's like literally coming off. But the oils are pretty intact for like a hydrating foundation. My makeup, I feel like, looks very like smooth and just beautiful, and like it has this glow, but it's a very like subtle glow. It's not what I thought it would look like at this time of the night. I thought it was gonna be way more glossy, but it actually looks pretty good. Like I mentioned, this side does have a little bit more of a transfer. I did ask 2 people if there was a big difference between both sides, because I am wearing 2 different primers, and they both said that it looks pretty much the same. So at first I felt like this side with the True Matte primer that just came out looked better, but then through the night I was like, this looks the same, because I was thinking about maybe exchanging the small guy I got for the big one for the True Matte, but I actually may not. I may just keep this and keep using my samples and see what happens. So I feel like this foundation looks absolutely fantastic on the skin. I feel like this is the perfect everyday foundation, because I feel like the first one, the Pro Filter Matte one, was a little bit more like makeup-y. Like you could tell somebody had makeup on their face. This one just melts right into your skin. It's perfect for that person that loves like an everyday natural face of makeup, and also for the person who wants a little bit more If you want it to build it up to like a more full coverage for your evening out, you can definitely do that with this foundation. And also the price is right on target. It's a $36 to $38 foundation, so it's really good. So I definitely do recommend this for somebody who has had their eye on this foundation, who's been looking to purchase it, especially my people that do like a hydrating foundation. I do also want to say this brush really impressed me. You guys know that I'm a creature of habit. I like to use the products that I'm used to using, especially when it comes to my brush and my sponge. Like, I just love that aspect of just keeping it simple, same product over and over. It's just quick and to the point, applies the product perfectly. You can do a more natural finish with this, or you can do more full coverage. I feel like it really gets the job done. I love how soft it is, and I love the fact that it's not your typical kabuki. It's definitely a brush that is like more so patting motions and also kind of like stripping downwards, but mainly patting motions, and it really pushes the product in and gives you a very nice canvas. So those are pretty much all my thoughts. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this review. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below in my comment section. I'll be glad to answer them. Also, your thoughts. Have you been using this foundation? Have you tried the primers? What are you thinking? I want to know all that fun info down below, because I love talking to you guys. You guys are like my internet BFFs, and I just love having conversations about all the new that is coming out. So that being said, if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Let's me to continue doing these types of videos. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I would love for you to become a member of our family here on YouTube, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss my videos for the world. And also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video, because why would you? It's midnight, I'm sleepy, this is my sleepy voice, so I think I'm gonna head to bed. I love you guys so much, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.